right, welcome to another out of this world episode of the Show. We are two geeks who talk about everything. My name is Aaron, and I'm joined by my cousin and co-host Landon.
Good day. Good day. How are you, Aaron?
I'm good. I'm good. Who knows how I am in another dimension, but here where I'm at, good to go.
It could be anything. It could be anything in another. You could be great. You could be sad. You could be a universe killer. You
I could
know?
be stuck at the DMV in another universe. Who knows?
Oh, why go there?
I
Don't
don't
do
know.
that to yourself.
Yeah, most things can be done online these days anyway. So we are talking about What If. It's the second season of this animated show in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is on Disney Plus, and so I just finished watching it this week. I know they did all 9 episodes, like one after another each day, like around Christmas, which was an interesting way to release the show. Like usually you get all of it at once, or you get it spread out week to week. They were doing one episode a day.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like a little Christmas present. I don't know.
Well, it was exciting to see. I'll be honest. I forgot that it was coming on. Like I remember they were working on it, and then all of a sudden I saw it and I was like, "Oh wait, that's already out." And then I immediately started watching them. But oh my gosh, it was I don't know about you. I'd love to know your thoughts because my thoughts are I mean, I loved them. I loved them and they keep getting better in my opinion.
So I had there were several episodes that I thought were brilliant, just fantastic from start to finish, and there were a couple of them that were, I don't know, like the first one, I did not care much for. Focus. It's not that I don't like Nebula, but the first one focused on Nebula, and the what if was, what if Ronan had killed Thanos
Right.
and she had been picked up by the Nova Corps and became one of the Nova, uh, basically a cop on Xandar.
Right.
And it was a very dark episode, which is strange for Xandar because you think of Xandar as this bright, shiny world that we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's dark because they've shut off the worlds to keep Ronan from getting in and destroying everything.
Right. Right.
It's almost like turned into this Blade Runner version of itself.
Well, that's what I was. Oh, I'm so glad you said that because that's what I was thinking. It had a Blade Runner feel to it the whole time.
Yeah, it
Um,
had this kind of neo noir kind of feel, and it was good, but it just like overall didn't do anything for me. And it's not like this was. I thought it was strange that this was the first episode because it was like this is not the one that's going to draw me in to watch the rest of the season.
um,
Um,
no, I get that. I think from my perspective, although we ended out season one with some continuity that was bringing the watcher, it's almost like you started off with the watcher just being a narrator, and then as you got to the end of season one, you're like, oh, there's more going on here. And this, in the same way, you had that kind of like just narration and these little things. So these first three, especially, just seemed very much like a call out to something like Blade Runner, or in the third one is Die Hard. You know what I mean? It's like
oh,
you
definitely.
I didn't enjoy the second one very much. But I've never really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy 2 anyway. The one where Quill
You go.
has, yeah, with I
Well, I did like seeing the alternate version of the Avengers. Like, what would the Avengers have looked like a generation ago?
that's
Uh,
true. In the
that
80s.
I thought that
Yeah.
was really neat because you got King T'Chaka from Wakanda as the Black Panther.
Right.
You got Bucky
Him.
Barnes back as a part of the with the Winter Soldier thing. Hank,
Yeah,
yeah.
Hank Pym. That was my
How
favorite part. I thought he did really good.
how fun was it to have him and Annette Bening reunited, even though it was in an animated thing. But from the American president, you got Michael Douglas and Annette Bening giving each other crap on screen.
That was good. And were they, I know in that Benning, we had some voices in there that were the right people, right? Like the
Yeah.
actual actors.
Yeah. Yeah, both of them, Annette Bening and
Michael
Michael
Douglas.
Douglas.
Yeah.
They reprised their roles. The only ones who really didn't are Scarlett Johansson, Robert Downey Jr., and Chris Evans. I think are the only. They're the big three who didn't come back
Right,
for their
right,
own roles.
right. Um, let's talk about this. Happy Hogan saved Christmas. I have to admit, Happy Hogan, John Favreau is awesome. You know what I mean? I like him as a side character, but the idea of having an episode, a Christmas episode about Happy Hogan saving Christmas, I saw the title, I was like, ugh, all right, well, I'll push through it, and I turned out to really love the episode because it was very much like, you know, Die Hard, having
Yeah,
a Die Hard feel to
it
it.
was very Die Hard.
I thought that was a fun episode. But again, not necessarily plot intensive. I
No, I
really
think
like.
that one was just meant to be fun.
I think so, and a lot of Christmas episodes in any show, are like that, right?
Yeah,
Um, when we started doing like season 4, this was one where I looked at it and I thought, um, this is a scenario that I really would have enjoyed seeing. So the Nebula one's like, okay, cool. But again, it's like Blade Runner-esque. The Peter Quill thing is like, I never really thought or cared if that had happened that way. The Christmas one was a fun episode, but this one with Iron Man, not if Iron Man hadn't made it through back to Earth after Avengers, what would have happened? Now that was one that was like,
yeah.
now that is a what if I actually
That's a
think
really
it's
interesting one.
for.
Yeah.
So there are a
Um,
few of these in the first season and in the second season where I'm like, truly, I would like to know what would have happened if this had not happened, you know?
and this one that where with Iron Man on Sakaar, that was actually supposed to be in the first season.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, because we were supposed to get that's the story of that version of Gamora
Yeah.
before the conclusion of the season, because she's the Gamora that shows up for the Guardians of the Multiverse, there at the end of the season to
Um,
save reality. So we were supposed to get her backstory, but they wound up having to put it off till this season.
well, I thought it was a great episode. And Jeff Goldblum, right?
Is always brilliant.
Always brilliant. And I thought it was just great, the whole, and you had uh who's the guy who plays the rock guy? The
Or
director? Yeah, Core.
oh yeah, Taika
Kiki
Waititi.
what TD. I just hilarious, always funny. I really enjoyed the episode 100%, and I liked how it ended and all that too. The but that was one. I'd say if I was to say what were my favorite ones, this would be one of them. But and we can keep going in order if you want. But the one where they're in 1602, that was a great episode. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that was really well done. But I'm a sucker for anything with Captain Carter in it. So,
I I know you are.
uh,
And what's her name again?
Captain Peggy Carter.
No, no, I'm the actress.
Oh, Haley Atwell.
Just
I
I
mean,
just want to give you give a little shout out, your little moment.
I'm not in love per se.
I think
Uh,
I think this is more like
mild
that's
infatuation. Mild
no restraint
infatuation.
no restraining orders yet.
No, not yet. I wouldn't even know where to start. Um, no, I love that they kind of pulled her in and made her the main protagonist for What If at this point. Like it's
Really is.
she was in these last 3 episodes in a row, wasn't she?
Well, yeah, actually, she was she was in the one with where the with the Hydra Stomper with Steve and her is she and Natalia are besties. Um that was a good episode. I liked that. It was a continuation episode really
Yeah,
from the first season. Which was good. I think I didn't enjoy that first episode as much because very it was like having the Iron Giant. It was okay. But this one was
This looks so much like the Iron Giant. It's so crazy.
it does. But this one was good, I thought. Um and I really liked the duo. I would have loved to seen a movie, a live action movie of Black Widow and Captain Carter. That would have been really cool to see.
Yeah.
But what you can't have there, you definitely accomplish here. Rachel Weisz, man, she was the one who voiced out the bad guy lady in that episode.
Yeah.
She's great.
Melina.
Something like that.
Yeah, she was. So, did you see Black Widow, the movie?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was Natalie's adoptive mom
Gotcha, Mom. Yeah.
when they were pretending to be Americans.
I
And
just I like her in anything she does. Maybe it's just because of watching her in The Mummy, you know. But the so that was good. I was the Pocahontas episode I thought was pretty good. Uh,
yeah, so that turned out to be one of my favorites from the season overall
yeah,
too. So you had the character's name's Kahori, and I assume they are from the Mohawk tribe because the subtitle said they were speaking Mohawk.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure if I didn't know that was like a specific dialect, but I assumed that just that's to tell us that that's the tribe they were from. But
Yeah.
it was so interesting, and then seeing her um, develop as almost like she became the Captain Marvel of her
Right,
universe
right,
because she is affected by the power of the Tesseract
right,
and just the same way that Carol Danvers was.
right.
And so she develops these powers and is able to save her world, but then is also recruited by Doctor Strange, the Supreme Doctor Strange or whatever you want to call him, for the final episode of this season. And then she and Peggy wind up teaming up to stop Doctor Strange because it turns out he's the bad guy.
So help
Um,
me out here because I've got a little hole. Um, I walked out of season one with him being trapped in the little bubble, right?
right.
Because he was destroying everything, consuming everything, and he recognized what he had done wrong, you know, and there you go. He's going to stay in the ball, right?
So he
Now he's
wasn't
out of the
trapped in the
ball.
ball. He wasn't trapped in the ball. He was going to hold on to Ultron and make sure he didn't escape. So he was back in his own universe. The one like his universe had crumbled and fallen apart,
Right,
and
right.
so it was just like his universe only had space for him, and that's it. So
Okay.
so
That's
he
why I'm
vowed
getting
as part of
confused.
his penance for what he did, he claimed that he would hold on to Ultron in this sphere thing.
So now we're talking about how he's done that and now he left and he's getting people from other places and collecting more spheres.
Right. He's been collecting
I
these
see.
powerful beings from all over the multiverse and now has an entire collection of them, and they're going to feed this forge that's going to recreate his universe so that he can get Christine back.
So, all right. And Benedict Cumberbatch, amazing. Always. Just
Yeah.
always amazing. Thank you for not having the third eye. I
Yeah,
hate the
right.
third eye. I can't stand it. I don't want to see the third eye again. But it looks cheesy. It is cheesy. It's stupid. But
Well,
they
to be
didn't do it at
fair,
all.
the CGI in the movie was horrible because they stopped paying their CGI people before they could do it. So, um,
True. But
yeah,
I
in the
thought the plot
cartoon,
was good, you know, and I think you know, them kind of halfway through these what ifs, making it so that you were kind of leading towards that last episode was really really nice. The 1602 episode was fun. Swashbuckling. I guess it's probably my favorite episode of all of them, just because it had Shakespearean stuff and you had Tom Hiddleston doing Hamlet, you know. I
So heartbreaking though for Peggy and Steve again. Like
I know.
both of them taken out of time and taken out of context from both of their universes. And it's like, oh, we've got a shot, but no,
He's
no,
Robin Hood.
they're yeah, he was he was Robin Hood,
I
and
like Paul Rudd's
oh,
character as Ant-Man. I felt like I could watch a Robin Hood movie with, with all of them, and Bucky's there too. They're all that's just like the perfect trio, right? Just looked like a fun, even Robin Hood swashbuckling-esque Three Musketeers amalgam that they had made. I thought it was great.
yeah, it was that was a really fun episode. I thought.
Thor was kind of a jerk.
Oh yeah, I mean, when if you were to take Thor and not give him the experiences he's had in the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Right.
he would have been a jerk. I mean, you think about who he was at the beginning of his own movie. He was a spoiled brat.
That's true.
If if he hadn't had the experiences he had on Earth, excuse me, Midgard, with Natalie Portman and learning what it's like to think of others before yourself, then
Right.
he would have continued to be that person. Especially if he marries his sister. That was gross.
Yeah. A lot of Hela. Now we didn't get Kate Blanchett, right? We had some other actress.
That was Kate Blanchett.
It really was her?
Yep.
Well, she did a good job. Um, I was thinking to myself, if it's not her, whoever it was sounded just like her. And good
Yeah.
old Samuel L. Jackson reprised his voice, didn't he?
Yep. Like I said, the only big ones we didn't get were Scarlett, RDJ, and Chris Evans.
What's up, y'all? Seriously.
What do you got in your life? You're so busy you can't be Iron Man again. Come on, you know you had fun with it. It made
Everybody
you who you
likes
are
being a
now.
voice actor. Seriously.
You can do it from your house. You know,
Seriously.
just go into a closet, take a microphone, and be like, "Hey, here we go."
Or maybe they tried, they weren't good at it. What if it's like that? It's just like, Chris, I'm sorry. We've tried every which way, and you just cannot do your voice with what you're seeing on the screen. We've even tried to get our computer animators to do it too when your timing is, and you still are inconsistent. We can't have you do it, Chris. I'm sorry.
Johnny Jr.'s like, guys, you sent me these pages that have funny things. I turns out I can't read. Uh,
I do appreciate if you notice this in the show. There was a lot of dialogue, especially like there were parts in the episode with Peggy Carter and Black Widow where they had dialogue back and forth. Like Peggy at one time says something about cry, a cryotube, or not cryotube, carbonite, being frozen in carbonite.
yeah,
And she's like, "Well, I guess I know how you're spending your Saturday nights."
yeah, she's getting caught up in pop culture, man.
There was a Gremlins reference. I just thought that was funny. There was a few a few
Yeah,
things in there.
yeah, she was when she talked to Supreme Strange about like she said, let me guess, one of them's gotten loose or one of them's missing or something. And he goes like, yeah, how'd you know? Gremlins, Jurassic Park. Anytime you have a collection of things you're not supposed to have, and one of them's gonna get loose.
Oh, it'd
Love
be
it when they
funny.
use
All of a
pop
sudden,
culture to do stuff like
it'd
that.
be funny if the Supreme Leader comes out and Jeff Goldblum's just like, and that's chaos theory.
Yes. Life, life finds a way. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap things up here. We hope you've enjoyed listening to our thoughts about what if. We want to hear your thoughts about what if. Be sure to leave a comment and let us know what your favorite episode was. Um, for us, it was anything with Peggy Carter, right? Was that what we're going with?
I think that's fair.
That's what I'm
It
going with.
was. It pretty much was. What if Peggy Carter had her own show? That's
Right,
that's really
right.
what the series was.
And it wasn't Agent Carter from back in the 40s. It was she has superpowers now. So let's
That's
go with
that's
that.
what we wanted.
So yeah, let us know what your favorite episode was, what you thought of the series overall. Are you looking forward to season 3? We know it's coming. So we'll look forward to season 3. It really does show the multiverse for what it can be for Marvel. A lot of stories to tell. So that's all the geekiness we have time for today. Thanks as always, Landon, for nerding out with us. I appreciate you. Um, Is there anything
Absolutely.
else you want to throw out there about what if or anything else before we wrap up?
I think I okay, so only one more thing. I am interested in knowing if where our continuity can go from here because like it would be so great. I don't think Marvel knows what they want to do or where they're going, or they're deciding now, especially with Jonathan Majors, Kang. They're in a place right now where they got to figure it out. And it would be cool to use What If in a way that helped lead towards where we're going. And right now it's pretty buttoned up,
Right.
So, if they can do that with season three, I'm hopeful. If not, we get the same sort of stuff. What if? It'll just be a fun show. That's fine. But I'd like for seeds to be planted like we had initially.
Think what I'm hearing, and don't quote me on this,
No.
but what I'm hearing is that they are looking to separate things once more. That you don't necessarily have to watch the TV shows to understand what's going on in the movies, and vice versa.
Okay.
So, I think they're trying to keep the TV series on Disney Plus more contained, and less connected to the movies, which I think they want to do because it's just too much behind the scenes for the folks trying to put everything together to keep it together. And you can't put out quality movies 2 or 3 times a year when you're also busy trying to put out 4 or 5 Disney Plus TV shows
Yeah. Yeah.
with a lower budget. And so, yeah, I think that's where things are going. But again, don't quote me on that. I don't have an official source. So
We'll see.
that's it. We will see. Folks out there watching, listening, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you'll know when we post stuff. And then until next time, have a great whatever it is, wherever you are.
See ya.